This is Sheffield Wednesday, one of the oldest and most historic clubs in English football, but right now they're in crisis. Years of financial management have left the club with massive debt. They've even got a transfer ban for 2 seasons. And to make things worse, most of their existing players have left the club because they weren't getting paid. At this rate, Sheffield Wednesday would cease to exist. And that's why I want to do the impossible. Take Sheffield Wednesday out of this financial nightmare all the way to Premier League and Champions League glory. I know it sounds ridiculous. They barely have a squad now to compete in the championship. Of course, we're going to have a transfer ban as well for a couple of seasons. We'll have to probably rely on the academy, maybe an odd free agent or so. And even after the ban is lifted, Sheffield Wednesday aren't going to have crazy money to compete. But if we can pull this off, it will be the greatest managerial turnaround of all time. But oh boy, what a mess we've gotten into. There's only one goalkeeper in this squad, and it's this 19-year-old kid, Charles. He's literally 64 rated. The best player in this team is Barry Bernard, 73 rated, but he's 35 years old. And I looked through this entire squad, by the way. There does not seem to be even one player that we can build our team around. In fact, our squad is paper thin. We've got just 18 players. As things stand, we legit have a one-way ticket to EFL League One, because I don't know how we'll avoid relegation. Now, don't forget, we also have a transfer ban for 2 seasons, so look at this. Even if we wanted to sign a player, we literally can't even approach them. But surely free agents are going to be exempt from this rule? No way, guys. We can't even sign free agents. Well, even if we were allowed to make signings, we've got no money. We're legit broke. £0 is our budget right now. Bro, how on earth are we supposed to do anything here with Sheffield? We don't even have players that we can possibly sell and raise money. Are we just gonna have to get through these couple of seasons, endure relegation and humiliation? Well, okay, I've got a plan, but it's totally dependent on the academy. I think for the next couple of years, the only way we can save Sheffield Wednesday is by hiring a scout and just trying to sign as many top-tier English talents as possible. Now, the problem is we don't even have money for the scouts, so that's something we need to fix. Good news is there are some academy players in here. 3 of them are 16 years old, like Dennis Bros. Will straight away promote him to the senior team, as well as Dexter Lord and this guy called Giovanni Costa. I don't know if they've got good potential or anything, but now that they're part of the squad, I can probably sacrifice some of the first team players, get them sold, generate some money that way. And you know what? If we sell Barry Bernard, our highest rated player, it could generate us like £1 million, which right now would be unbelievable money. We could also sell this Canadian striker Ugbo, get some more cash. Now, we do have Deshaun Bernard, who's our most valuable player at 2.5 million. I'm tempted to sell him, but he's 24. He's probably the one player that maybe we can build something around, so I kind of want to keep him. We'll look to sell this Jamal Lowe guy. And also, this is huge. Preseason tournament. Usually, I never take part in these, but now we're desperate for the money. Anywhere we can get some cash in, absolutely I'm in. And okay, guys, offers are coming in. I need to delegate them so we can get as much money as possible. And this might have just saved the club. Yes, we're selling some of our highest rated players. It's going to affect us this season, probably send us to relegation. But this money that we're generating might let us live to fight another day. With all the player sales and money from the preseason tournament, we have raised £5 million. Honestly, this might be enough to keep the club afloat. Now, we're back to having a squad of just 18 players, which means we can't generate more money by selling players. We won't have a squad eligible for the championship then. In fact, now I don't want to be selling players. I want to figure out how we can improve this team, maybe somehow even compete. And since it can't be through transfers, the academy is the only way. And yes, I'm spending 2.7 million on a 5-star scout. In fact, I was tempted to hire another scout, but I think that would be a bit too much. For this first season, I think we got to just send our scout to England to bring in talents. But also, we've got to be strategic in terms of what positions we want to scout. Remember, we're not at the stage where we're a club that we can bring in talent, grow them, and just expect them to stay. We need to make money through the youth academy as well to get this club out of debt. And that's why I think we need to be prioritizing attacking positions, probably centre mid as well. These are positions that are valued quite a bit in the market. We're putting our complete faith on the youth academy. As for this season, well, I've got no hope. Our squad is awful and we're barely able to make any improvements. I think we got to just accept the punishment that's coming. Relegation looks inevitable. But hey, this is a journey. We're going to have setbacks. It's about whether we can bounce back. For the first season, my only goal is signing top-tier youth academy talents. All right, we've got our first scouting report. But we don't want 14-year-olds, man. It'll take so long to even promote them into the first team. Okay, but hang on. Jaden Pearson, 78 to 94 potential. We'll sign him up. And this David Latham guy, worth about 500k? Even though he might not become an important player at our club, but we could use him to generate some money. Can somebody please tell our scout to get older players, because we need to help our first team? And now we're talking, bro. Finally, a baller from the academy, Archie Stewart. That potential looks crazy, and he's already valued almost £1 million. For a broke club like us, getting a player like him is clutch. Do you know what? To kind of grow all these academy players that we're signing, I reckon we gotta invest in some coaches, but we don't really have that much money. Let's maybe just get one coach in each department. I'm actually doubtful we can even afford that. And oh boy, those coaches were expensive, because we're now down to just £1 million. And wait a minute, I think we've hit our first big youth academy player, Luca Charlton. £1.4 million value. Bro, this is the kind of player that in the future could save this club financially. We're signing him up. Not just that, there are more decent players coming through. Meanwhile, we've made it to the end of the season, and would you believe it? Somehow, with barely a squad, we managed to avoid the drop. Honestly, I got no clue how this team managed to survive. We literally had a 57 rated Cam playing there. But I guess financially, it's going to be a good thing for us for next season. Relegation would have really hurt our budget, probably put us into more debt. But most importantly, look at our youth academy. It's brimming with English talent. I feel like we got to promote a lot of these players into the first team, make them starters, and then we can sell the first team players for a bit of a profit, generate some cash that way. And cash is absolutely what we need, because look at our budget for season 2. Zero once again. I'm not surprised. The club is still in financial ruin. I think if we can survive in the championship for one more season, the club might finally be in a spot where we'll get a positive budget to potentially make signings. Of course, this season we still have our transfer ban, but from next season, we are going to be allowed to make signings as well. Now, my goal for season 2 is clear. We got to replace as many of these first 11 players with the youth academy talent we scouted last season. Like, look at this. In the striker position, we've got Riley Mann. Now, the potential isn't that crazy, but he's already 65 rated. I'm thinking let's promote him, and then we can literally transfer list these existing strikers that we've got. In fact, we could also do it with the centre mid positions. We've got this Tommy Lord, 67 rated. Let's promote him too. The other boys as well look to have some decent talent and potential, and we can actually cash in on these experienced players that we've got. 71 rated centre mid from Sweden. He's worth like 1.7 mil, and our plan is actually working. Some decent offers coming in. And okay, I've sold all our experienced strikers as well as midfielders, and I think we've smashed this strategy, because we've now raised £5 million. Now, of course, there's no denying this has weakened the team. Our striker is lower rated. Midfielders as well are lower rated. But right now, I think it's more important to get the club financially back on track than focusing on the pitch results. Controversial decision, but I think this is the play. We're also going to now do that with other positions as well. And look at this, boys. We just got a big sale. This Kobachki guy to Sunderland for 2.9 million. Look at our club's budget now, 9 million. And yes, all the player sales have hurt the team's quality, but not by much. I feel like these youngsters who we've scouted are still incredible talents. I changed formation as well to a 4-3-3 with the CDM to kind of just fit everyone in. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth am I raising so much money when we really can't spend it? Well, there are still two more areas I just want to completely double down. First is our coaching department. If we're going to focus so heavily on the youth academy, we need to deck out our coaching department, and that's exactly what I'm doing this season. Also, I think I want to double down on another scout. And yup, there's another 5-star, 4-star scout available. We'll pay the money, and now we can send one of our scouts to England again to bring us talents in different positions, and the other scout too can be sent to another country. Now, I do want to keep it realistic, because there's no way a broke club like Sheffield Wednesday is going to be sponsoring scouting projects far away to like Spain or even South America. We're gonna keep it in the UK, and I'm thinking, why not Ireland? Let's see if we can find some proper Irish talents over this next year. I'm betting a lot on this, boys. Academy is the way to save Sheffield Wednesday. Also, I'm just getting an email from the English FA, and yes, it says that our transfer ban will be over next season. We will be allowed to make signings, but there is one condition. We need to settle our remaining debts, which by the way amounts to 10 million. I knew something like this was going to pop up at some point. Looks like in season 3, if we want to make transfers, we're going to have to cough up 10 million pounds. Good thing is, with how frugally we've run this club, we already have 4.5 million. We should also get more money if we just survive the championship. Now, that is definitely going to be tricky with such a young squad that we've got. But also, another problem is that our squad is super thin, just 18 players, which means we can't sell more players anymore to get cash. Although I do have a plan. It's not something I normally do. But we've got a few academy players here like Owen Norris. 64 rated. Potential is looking really bad. Same with Latham. This Knowles guy as well. I'm thinking we'll promote all of them, but straight away put them on the transfer list to generate cash. And yup, the plan has worked exactly as intended. We've sold all of these academy boys. And look at that, we're up to 7.4 million. And you know what? I'm going to use 5 million right now itself to pay back half of our debt. Now, I still want to keep like 2.4 million left in the bank so we can continue our youth academy projects. Because yeah, once again for season 2, the focus is discovering as much young talent as we can. And the academy just keeps on giving. Look at the quality of players we're finding. Lance Schofield, 1.3 million valuation already. Even the scout we sent to Ireland got us some ballers. Look at this. Christopher Hanna, 68 overall. What is that potential even? And it wasn't just him. Look at the amount of insane players we've now got in the academy. I think soon we're going to have a full 11 of just academy players. But looks like they're going to have to play in EFL League 1 because this time around, we do get relegated. 24th. I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised because I think our team was better this season. Look at the growth we had. My boy Charles in the goalkeeper position up to a 71. Bernard 75. The academy boys also grew pretty well. Look at Charlton up to a 72 already. I guess it was the lack of experience. But you know what, guys? I think this relegation is going to prove to be costly because we're going to lose all the money we would have gotten for being in the championship. And we do still have like 5 million more to pay off in debt. And I was right, boys. For season 3, once again, our budget is 0. But it gets worse. Remember how our debt was 5 million? Getting relegated means that the debt has now gone up to 8 million. And until we pay it back, we can't make any transfers. But you know what, boys? Over these last couple of seasons, I think we've built a really good foundation here. If we promote a few academy players, especially the good ones, while also selling the players we don't really think are that good, maybe we'll be able to raise the 8 million to pay off all the debts while still being able to fight for promotion. Now, one thing's for sure, this Christopher Hanna guy, we're definitely getting him involved in the centre-back spot. Also, Arthur Sharp, 68 rated already. That means we can have Bernard as the starter, the man with experience. Actually, since he's been here from day one, I'll give him the armband. And I guess then we can have Hanna and Sharp compete for the second centre-back spot. And to be honest, at this stage, I really don't think we need to have more than 3 centre-backs. We're only playing league football. And this way, we can probably get the best amount of growth. And that means I can sell the likes of Iorfa, this Oteg Bio guy. Even these 3 centre-backs we found through the academy, I know they've got crazy potential, but sacrifices need to be made. And just look at the kind of money these academy players are bringing in. 2 million for a 64 rated centre-back. Of course, we're going to take the cash. And just look at the amount of money we've raised from selling all those players. 7 million. We're so close to paying off the club's debt. Now, we've got more academy players that we are going to promote. Some of them will sell. Some of them we will make starters. Meanwhile, the amount of players we were selling, it was just getting crazy. Kind of feels like we've made a business out of the youth academy. But oh, it's definitely a profitable business. We're now up to 9.9 million. And the first thing I'm doing 100% is paying off that debt. It took us a couple of seasons and we had to churn our youth academy like it was a business. But the club is finally debt-free. From here onwards, we can finally build towards making Sheffield Wednesday a Premier League club. And now we're also allowed to make transfers, but we're only left with 1.9 million. And we do have a bigger issue on our hands. Several players at the club need a new contract. That itself is going to cost us quite a bit of our cash. And yup, it doesn't look like we're going to be making any new signings this season. But surely if we can get this team promoted back to the championship, the money will start coming in and we can make our first transfer. And honestly, I think our team is good enough to get promoted. Charlton up top is incredible. Man as well up to a 70 overall. The midfield could be better. 64 rated Roberts, not all that good. But I'm liking the defense, man. Bernard being the main man. Irishman Hanna as well. Charles somehow keeps growing. It's actually mad that in our squad, just 4 players are part of the OG Sheffield Wednesday squad. The rest are all academy players that we've found over the last couple of seasons. We're now making our way through the season, and I know so far we've kind of ignored our performances on the pitch. It's been all about saving the club's financial situation, but we've now kind of solved that. The debt is gone, and our job now is to get on the road back to promotion. But can we do it with this young, inexperienced team? End of the season, and we don't get automatic promotion. Do you know what? I was kind of expecting us to be good enough to get that. Instead, we finished 5th, and you know what that means. We're gonna have to go through the playoffs. But you know what? I am kind of confident because look at the amount of growth we've had in our team. My boy Bernard up to a 77. Hannah up to 71. Kent up to 75. But look at Charlton. How do we have a 78 rated player in League One? That is just mental. And there you go, boys. We've made it past the first hurdle, knocking out Oxford. Now it's the playoff final against Portsmouth. We win this game. Sheffield Wednesday are going to be back in the championship. The road to the Premier League will begin. But Portsmouth get the job done. That is absolutely brutal. And the financial implications of this defeat is going to be unbelievable. I'm already getting an email from the board. We will need to generate 15 million in player sales just to compensate for not being in the championship. Man, this Sheffield Wednesday job is absolutely brutal. We're now in season 4 and what do we do now? Selling 15 million worth of players might just crush the squad. And honestly, with how thin our squad is, that would legit be impossible. The only solution I see is cashing in on Luca Charlton. I mean, he's 78 rated. He shouldn't be in League One. Also, look at his value, 22.5 million. His sale would legit solve everything. And to be honest, right now the board has given us 6.7 million, which we can use, of course, to possibly bring in his replacement. And to be honest, I've just found a pretty ridiculous free agent. Van Axel Dongen, 23-year-old Dutch winger. Okay, he's nowhere near as good as Charlton, but considering our club situation, getting him for free is an absolute steal. And oh man, the moment has now come to say goodbye to Luca Charlton. There's a crazy offer from Lille, 26.5 million. And yo, there's an even bigger one from Celtic. And there you go. He's actually gone. This kind of reminds me of Bellingham leaving Birmingham. That move kind of saved them financially, and this is exactly what's happening here. He actually decided to go to Celtic, getting us more money. Fair enough. And hold on, boys. We've got 30 million in the bank, and straight away the board has taken 15 of that. But we're still left with a decent amount. In fact, a ridiculous amount for a League One club. That transfer's just solved all our problems. Now, even though we've got the budget to sign possibly championship level players, maybe even some Premier League quality players, don't forget we're in League One. That's why we're limited to signing players in our division. And honestly, I can't really find any players that would really improve our squad. In that case, I feel like we gotta be financially prudent. Let's save this money for next season. Yes, it will carry over. And if we get promoted to the championship, we will need this money then. But honestly, I'm not sure if we can get promoted with this team. We're weaker than last season without Luca Charlton. But also, I don't think we've got a choice. If we fail to get promoted, once again, the board will ask us to sell another big player. This season, we absolutely need to secure promotion. Okay, I did not expect this, but we've destroyed League One. 99 points. Direct promotion, champions as well. And oh my days, this growth is actually ridiculous. Van Axel Dongen has turned out to be one of the best free agent signings ever. Also, what is this growth for Reece Welch? Forget his overall growth. Look at the market valuation. He's worth 32 million. Stewart as well has grown massively. So has Riley Mann. Our squad now is worth well over 100 million. And since we're getting promoted to the championship, we're not going to be forced to sell any of our players. The road to the Premier League is back on. It is kind of funny, though, that after 4 seasons, we're exactly where we started in the championship. But our situation is completely different. We're no longer a broke club. In fact, just look at our team. I think we're favorites to get promoted as well. In fact, I've just received an email from the board. If we don't get promoted to the Premier League this season, the board will then have to look to sell some of our players. And honestly, this isn't any news. Players like Welsh and Stewart, they're not going to stick around if we're going to be loitering in the championship. They're already Premier League level players. The good thing is we do get to keep them for this season, and I do feel like we can get promoted to the Premier League. We got to fix up the goalkeeper position, maybe get an upgrade over Charles. Also, the left back spot needs an upgrade. This man Lowy is 32 years old, and thankfully we do have that 16 million carrying over. Okay, we still have transfer restrictions. We can only sign players from Division 2 clubs. And okay, this is perfect. 80 rated Gavin Bazoon, who plays for Southampton. They're in the championship, same like us. But his market value, we're not gonna have the money to pull this off. Maybe if we try a swap deal by putting in our current keeper Charles, chucking in maybe like 12 million as well, just to see what happens. Well, the deal can go through, but at 18 million, I don't think we've got the money for this. I'm gonna have to negotiate like crazy to pull this off. And okay, we've brought it down to 14.8 million. Come on, please, can we get the deal done at 13.5? I need money to pay his wages as well. 13.9. No, we gotta get it done at 13.5. Can we pull pull this off? Oh, come on. 13.8. You know what? Let's just do it. We're going all in on Gavin Bazunu. And just about, boys, we should be able to pull this off if he accepts the contract. And he does. Bazunu is joining Sheffield Wednesday. I would definitely call this our first proper signing. When we started off the Sheffield Wednesday project, who would have thought we'd be taking a team like this in the championship? But now we are in an all-in situation. We need to get promoted if we want to keep this squad. Now, while we wait to get through the season, if you guys can show your support by subscribing to the channel, that might give us a bit of luck. And yes, we're going up, boys. To the Premier League we go. We didn't quite win the league, but finishing second is still awesome. Automatic promotion secured. And bro, I genuinely can't wait for the Premier League, because look at the team we'll have. Welsh is up to an 85. Mana's gone up to an 80. Stewart is 81. And since we'll be getting all that Premier League TV money, we shouldn't have financial issues as well. But saying that, newly promoted clubs have often struggled in the Premier League. It is going to be a battle for us to survive. Our Premier League journey, though, begins with a meeting with the board. They want to talk about Reece Welch, our most valuable player. I mean, he alone is literally worth about £100 million right now. And the board does have crazy offers for him. Barcelona, Real Madrid, even the top Premier League clubs are interested in signing him. But it looks like the board are willing to reject all offers for Reece Welch. But it comes at a condition. We need to try and get Sheffield Wednesday into European football as soon as possible. If we fail to do that this season, the board will have no choice but to sell Reece Welch. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. He's already too good for our team. The fact that we'll at least get him for one season. And you know what? Looking at our team, I already feel like we're not going to be really in a relegation battle. We've got a solid goalkeeper in Bazunu. The midfield is insane. The attack is really good as well. If we can just strengthen the team a bit more, maybe with the fullback department, maybe we can squeeze in European qualification. Oh, and that Premier League TV money has definitely come in. 45 million, our biggest budget yet. And now, of course, we are eligible to sign players from the Premier League. And I think I found a decent left-back option. Kessler Hayden plays for Aston Villa, contract expiring. And I think we got a deal here for 7.5 million. And for the right-back spot, I think I found another good deal. Alfie Gilchrist of Chelsea. His contract's expiring too. You know I love that. And yup, we got him for just 18.8 million. But even with the new fullbacks, I'm not sure if this team can qualify for Europe just yet. I mean, we're only a newly promoted club. I mean, there is talent in the squad like Mann and Stewart. Of course, Welsh is the big man. At least one thing's for sure. We don't have to worry about getting relegated. End of the season, and yes, we're not in any sort of relegation battle. By the way, Man United, look at how much they've fallen off. But anyways, we finished 13th. No European football for us. I think it was a tall order anyway for us to be expected to qualify for Europe in just our first season back to the Premier League. But saying that, our team has grown massively this season. Look at Mann and Stewart up to an 84 overall. Kent and Roberts have grown massively too. Bazunu's up to an 84. But of course, one thing's confirmed, that next season, we will have to transfer Reece Welch. We're not qualifying for European football and the board were clear. And well, here we go. I'm transfer listing Reece Welch. Now, the good thing is the board have agreed to add 50% of his transfer fees to our budget. So at least we'll be able to improve the team. And oh my days, I did not expect the offers to be this big. 141 million. Both West Ham and Palace want him. I'm going to accept both offers. This is crazy money. I mean, our budget for this season is only 34 million. But if this sale goes through, we'll get another 70 million added on. And I think it might be going through. Yes, it is. Goodbye, Reece Welch. Just like Luca Charlton. Another big Sheffield Wednesday player had to be sold. And we now get 70 million added on to our transfer budget, putting our total up to 104 million pounds. And you know what? If we can reinvest that money correctly into different areas of this squad, maybe our team can actually get better. I definitely feel this season we need some squad depth for the attack. Need a big replacement for Welsh as well. At the back, we could also do with another centre-back. So a lot of areas for us to improve. Let me just have a quick checkup on Luca Charlton, who we did sell a few seasons ago. And wait a minute, he has barely grown in his overall. He's still 78. What? Also, his market value isn't that bad. And Chelsea are trying to sign him. Bro, without us, his career has kind of fallen off. And since we do need another attacker, I don't mind signing him, especially if we can get a good deal. And would you believe it? Luca Charlton is coming back to Sheffield Wednesday for 27 mil. Now, we're still left with about 75 mil. And I think I found the perfect player to replace Welsh. Lennon Miller, Scotsman, 85 rated. I think we're gonna have to blow our entire budget on this though. And yup, we have signed him, but it's come at a cost, 64.4 million. Oh man, I really wanted to improve our defense as well. But we gotta remember, we're Sheffield Wednesday. We don't have unlimited money. But I still feel we've used that cash from Welsh's departure really well. well. Midfield is now improved. We've got a bit more squad depth. I want to see progress. Okay, it's a good thing we're not in the relegation zone and we have finished above 13th. But wait a minute, we've made it to the top 6? Bro, we've made it to top 4. Are you joking? And yes, it's 4th position. Sheffield Wednesday have qualified for Champions League football. But honestly, this is unbelievable. I mean, I shouldn't be too surprised because our team is looking really that good. But the best part is that now that we have qualified for Champions League football, we won't be forced to sell our players. We can now focus on becoming Premier League winners, competing in the Champions League as well. Because, yeah, we're that close. And oh, man, this does feel nice. That Champions League money has come through. 88 million is our budget for Season 8. To think how we started off this challenge back in Season 1 with no money, barely a squad. And here we are now with the team that I think should be able to compete for the Premier League title. Especially if we can maybe bring in another centre-back. Maybe improve that midfield. Now, even though we're a Champions League club, the board still want us to be financially prudent. They don't want us to spend more than 50 million on a single player. We're gonna have to be really shrewd with our signings, and that's why I feel like Levi Colwill is perfect for us. What a deal at 27.5 million. And guys, I'm right now negotiating for Job Bellingham, 85 rated, but Dortmund are playing with us. They've countered 50.1 million. They probably know that we can't go above 50 mil. Now, if I can get this deal under 50, we would have signed one of England's brightest prospects. How big would that be? And yes, it's gonna work. Exactly 50 million. And we've got Job Bellingham wearing a Sheffield Wednesday kit. How crazy is that? And oh man, Job improves that midfield so much. Colwill improves that defense as well. I mean, yeah, we could do with maybe another left back. But I still feel this is a team that can contend for the Premier League title, even compete in the Champions League. Could this be the season we get Sheffield Wednesday to the top of England? And we've actually pulled it off, boys. 8 seasons in the making. Sheffield Wednesday are Premier League champions. Honestly, I'm not surprised because look at the amount of talent we've managed to develop. Of course, we strengthened the midfield and defense this season with Bellingham and Colwill, but the superstars are the academy products we developed in the first couple of seasons. Archie Stewart, look at him, 89 overall. Riley Mann as well, up to an 88. And both of them banged in the goals. The only thing left in the Sheffield Wednesday challenge now is getting Champions League glory. And I have a feeling that maybe this season itself we could pull it off. What? We're not in the Champions League? How? That literally makes no sense. We finished 4th last season. No way. This has got to be some sort of a glitch because we got put in the Europa League. Can somebody please explain to me in the comments what happened here? We actually ended up getting knocked out in the quarters, but I can't believe we got robbed from a spot in the Champions League. That is legit so unfair. But okay, now that we are Premier League champions, there's no doubt that we're going to be in the Champions League. And also, we've got our biggest budget yet, 99 million. Of course, the board still wants us to be financially prudent. We can't spend more than 50 million on a single player. And to be honest, I don't think we need to. If we just sign a really good left back, and I'm thinking maybe a backup striker, that should have our squad completely sorted. And Lewis Hall seems absolutely perfect for that left back role. And we were able to easily sign him for under 50 mil. And hang on, what is Hugo Ekitike doing at Nottingham Forest? Looks like in this save his Liverpool career didn't really pan out. He's now 31, and honestly, based on his stats, I think he would be perfect to be our backup striker. And yes, for 47 million, he's joining Sheffield Wednesday. And okay, this time we haven't been robbed out of a Champions League spot. We finished 5th. That means we do skip the playoffs, and that's important because look at Real Madrid. They got knocked out, but we keep pushing on. Round of 16, we've knocked out Monaco. We get the better of Arsenal, only just though. And we get revenge on Inter. They knocked us out last season in the Europa League. We've knocked them out now. And Sheffield Wednesday are going to be in a Champions League final. 9 seasons of managing Sheffield Wednesday, man. From financial nightmare to now a Champions League final. I mean, I don't even recognize the squad we've got. Not a single player is there from that Sheffield Wednesday squad we inherited at the start. But what a team we've built. The Youth Academy project came through massively. And this is the moment we can get the job done. Make Sheffield Wednesday Champions League winners. Moment of truth. Can we pull it off? And yes, we can. It took an extra time winner, but it's done. From financial nightmare to Champions League winners, we've successfully saved Sheffield Wednesday. Now, if you enjoyed this journey, why not watch me fix Manchester United? Click here.